to this thing on the Crooks attempted assassination, because it's becoming more obvious, according to Miranda Devine, the Washington Examiner, and others, that there is a lot more about this guy that we don't know. And I read to you earlier the Washington Examiner's editorial. Now I'm going to go over to the editorial board at the New York Post. Why did the FBI either fail to track down major information about Thomas Crooks or fail to make it public? Indeed, shouldn't the Bureau have been aware of Crooks' alarming and visible social media profile long before he opened fire on Donald Trump and Butler last year? The information that Miranda Devine shared yesterday has directly contradicted public claims by Chris Wray, then FBI Director Chris Wray, that Crooks was a mystery man with a thin or non-existent online presence. The methods Devine's source used started with Crooks' phone number to track down his accounts on YouTube, Snapchat, Venmo, Zelle, GroupMe, Discord, Google Play, Quizlet, Chess.com, and Quora. And it can't be alien to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. How could the feds miss the YouTube account, Tom Crooks 2178, active from January 14th, 2019 to its suspension July 14th, 2024, the day after Butler? Federal officials supposedly monitor social media for signs of danger. Did posts like the all-caps "Murder the Democrats" of 2012-2019 really set off no alarms? In fact, he got more spooky after he turned to the left, writing in August 2020, the only way to fight the government is with terrorism-style attacks, sneak a bomb into an essential building and set it off before anyone sees you, track down any important people, politicians, military leaders, etc., try to assassinate them. None of this speech is grounds for arrest, but it absolutely is the kind of thing you'd expect to get someone onto the Fed's radar, and certainly stuff they'd note after the author has come a fraction of an inch from succeeding in an assassination. Especially when, per Miranda Devine's sources, Crooks' scarier posts were even flagged by other users who mentioned law enforcement in their replies. A fresh investigation is now a must, writes the New York Post editorial board. Probe Crooks, his back trail, and possible co-conspirators, and of the FBI officials who one way or another dropped the ball, as well as of current FBI leaders who also fell down. All the previous weirdness, from, as the Secret Services claims, it posted no agents on the roof Crooks used because it was too steep, to raise bizarre testimony to Congress Trump may not have even been shot, has launched 1,000 conspiracy theories. The FBI's decline, dating back to at least Robert Mueller's reforms for the FBI, is old news, but Team Trump was supposed to be turning things around. The nation needs to know why this work is plainly going far too slowly. Well, I don't know about that. Does the New York Post get to determine if an investigation is going too slowly? Does the Washington Times get to determine if an investigation is going too slowly? Do I get to determine if an investigation is going too slowly? Do you get to determine if an investigation is going too slowly? Fast Eddie.
No.
Who the hell do we think we are exactly? I mean, let's be honest. You say, we're citizens, damn it. We're the American taxpayer. Yes, but we're not law enforcement. I didn't get into law enforcement. I'm not the director of the FBI. This is the system we have. You may not like it, and you may not like the speed with which they're going, but I don't know that I have the right to sit here and say, I'm not pleased with Kash Patel, and by God, he's got to please me and serve me at my speed. I just don't know. Now, look, you say, I don't like him coming out and saying, we have what we have, we know what we know, and that's it. That frustrates a lot of people, Ed, and that I understand.
Sure.
Because, based on this reporting, it sounds hinky at best that they know a lot more than Kash Patel saying, we know what we know, and he didn't have much to say, and he didn't talk to many other people, and that's that. For instance, here's a very, very thing. His PayPal account. Crooks appears to have avoided using his real name, using the alias Rod Swanson. Fast Eddie, do you know who that is? Rod Swanson? That's the name of a former FBI agent who was in charge of investigating the Las Vegas event of 2017, that mass shooting. The guy that checked in with the arsenal of weapons and the... hotel. I can't remember, was it Mirage? I can't remember which hotel, and busts out the window and fires on the country concert. That guy went away. We never heard a word about him again. Anyway, this Crooks guy is apparently using the FBI lead investigator's name on that case for his PayPal business.
Yes.
Okay, now again, I'm not a conspiracy guy because I don't know what I don't know, and I just don't. I choose not to spend my time imagining things. I understand there are shows that specialize in that, and you know where they are and where to find them if you'd like that. But I will confess that that is an extraordinarily weird thing surrounding a weird story that I think is still weird to this day. The fact that we don't know what the hell happened in 2017 in Las Vegas and nothing about that guy. He just checks into a hotel with an arsenal and starts firing on a country concert. We never heard another word about that guy. Now, that was not the Trump DOJ. That was not the Trump FBI. Yes, I do expect different outcomes here. Here's another thing, and this is true. I've been saying this for years now. I believe Donald Trump was allowed to be shot at. I do believe that. I've said that, Ed. I want to be honest and own that. I believe Donald Trump was allowed to be shot at. That means the Secret Service was involved somehow, either total lax practices or something more nefarious. I don't know. But is it possible that Kash Patel is looking into something, again, that I don't know and we don't know? Is it possible that the Trump family, Eric Trump, Don Jr., President Trump, want more answers and are digging more deeply with Kash and Dan, and we just don't get to know what they're doing right now? Is that possible, Ed?
Very possible, yes. Of course.
It's like the tariff thing with Scott Bessent. We're going to need more than a calendar year to right all the wrongs of this country, folks. Patience might be a virtue.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.